I never imagined my life could unravel in a single evening, but that night proved me wrong. It started innocently, or at least I thought it did. I was sitting across from Mark in a dimly lit bar downtown, the kind of place where nobody asks questions and everyone disappears into their own little world. I knew it was wrong, I had never cheated before. But the thrill, the sense of being seen and desired, pulled me in, and before I realized it, I was leaning closer than I should have, laughing at his jokes, brushing my hand against his on purpose. Every warning bell in my mind rang, but I silenced them. The drinks flowed, and so did the conversation. Mark was everything my husband had stopped being: attentive, spontaneous, exciting. It was intoxicating, dangerous. I felt guilty, of course, but I pushed it down, telling myself that no one needed to know, that it was just a fleeting moment. One night. That's all it was supposed to be. Hours later, we left the bar together. The city was quiet, the streets slick with the faint drizzle of rain. He held the door for me, smiling, and I felt a flutter in my chest I hadn't felt in years. For a brief moment, I forgot about the life waiting for me at home, the man who had promised forever but had grown distant, silent, cold. Mark and I drove in silence, our hands brushing occasionally, the tension thick. My heart was pounding with anticipation and fear. We arrived at his apartment. I hesitated at the door, knowing I was about to cross a line I could never uncross. Mark sensed my hesitation and smiled. "Relax," he said softly, his voice a mixture of reassurance and mischief. "No one has to know." That tiny sentence, harmless on the surface, became my undoing. I wanted to believe it, wanted to surrender to the moment, but a small part of me screamed, and yet, I ignored it. Inside, we laughed, drank more, and then the lines blurred. I remember the rush, the heat, the forbidden thrill of being wanted in a way I hadn't felt in years. It was wrong. It was exhilarating. And then, just as everything seemed to be falling into place, my phone buzzed. I ignored it, thinking it could wait. But the second buzz made me pick it up. It was him. My husband. Jason. "I need to talk. Now." I froze, my mind spinning. How did he know? Did he follow me? No, that was impossible. He had no idea I was here. Panic surged through me, and I knew I had to think fast. I told Mark it was urgent, that I needed a moment, and stepped into the hallway, my hands shaking. My chest tightened as I dialed Jason's number. "Hello?" His voice was calm, deceptively calm. "Jason." I couldn't finish. Words failed me. I know. Those two words, so simple, so devastating, shattered me more than I could have imagined. "Know what?" I whispered, my throat dry, my mind racing. "I know you're with him." I froze, expecting anger, screams, or worse. But he said nothing else. Just waited. My stomach dropped. "How? How did you know?" I stammered. A quiet, almost tender laugh. "I installed a small tracker on your car a few days ago. Just in case." My heart stopped. Every betrayal I had imagined in this scenario, every confrontation, every yell, every rage-filled argument, none of it prepared me for the calm in his voice. He didn't yell. He didn't scream. He didn't even seem hurt. He just knew. "Jason, I didn't mean," I started, but he cut me off. "Stop. I just want to see you." I hesitated. Part of me thought he would explode, confront Mark, make a scene. But he didn't. He asked me to meet him, quietly, in the city park, the one we used to walk through after dinner when we were happy. Confused and terrified, I agreed. I left Mark's apartment without a word. I didn't explain, I didn't argue, I just ran. Rain soaked my hair, my clothes clinging to me as I raced through the streets, my mind a jumble of fear and guilt. When I reached the park, Jason was there, standing under the lamppost, calm, composed, like he had been waiting for me. I approached him, expecting fury, expecting screams. But he just looked at me, eyes steady, unflinching. "You're wet," he said quietly. Jason. "I'm sorry." He held up his hand. I know. Know what? I whispered, voice trembling. That you wanted to leave. That you wanted excitement. That you think I'm not enough. Tears burned my eyes. I don't know what I was thinking. He shook his head, slowly, deliberately. No, you do. And that's why this will work. I stared at him, confused. Work? What do you mean? Jason reached into his pocket and pulled out a small envelope. I called Mark while you were coming here. What? I gasped. He's on his way. Don't panic. I felt my stomach twist. You called him? Why? Jason's gaze didn't waver. Because I needed to see what you would do. And now, I'm giving you a choice. Mark arrived minutes later, confusion written all over his face. I felt the ground disappear beneath me as the two men, one I had betrayed, one I had seduced, stood there, looking at me. And then, instead of rage, instead of chaos, something unexpected happened. Jason smiled. Mark, he said calmly, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Now you understand why this had to happen. My head spun. What is happening? Jason stepped closer, his voice soft but firm. I wanted you to see that cheating, thrill, temptation, it's all empty. And I wanted you to understand that I knew, and I wasn't angry because I wanted to watch you realize what you were risking. And you did. Mark looked at me, bewildered. Wait, she. Yes, Jason said. And now, I'm giving her a choice. She can leave with you, or she can come back with me. But either way, the truth is out. And she knows what she wants. I stood frozen, the rain soaking through me, my heart pounding. Shock, guilt, fear all collided inside me. And in that moment, I realized something I had ignored for too long. The man I thought I had wanted, the man I had betrayed, was nothing compared to the one who had been patient, calm, unshakable, and still loved me enough to show me my own mistakes without losing himself in anger. I didn't move. I couldn't. And Jason, reading my silence, smiled again. Not with triumph, but with quiet understanding. I'll wait, he said softly. Take a breath. Decide. But know this, you can't run from the truth anymore. I looked at him, at the rain dripping off his hair, at the calm, unwavering presence that had somehow shattered and rebuilt my world in a single night. And for the first time, I realized what betrayal really felt like, not the thrill, not the fear, but the quiet, shocking clarity of someone who knows everything, and still gives you a chance. I was with another man. But what Jason did next? He made me see myself in a way I never thought possible, and in doing so, shattered every illusion I had ever held. That night, I didn't just face my betrayal, I faced my own soul.